Have you ever noticed how a woman's smallest gestures, like flipping her hair or walking with quiet confidence, can draw attention without her saying a single word? Here's what most men overlook. You hold that same kind of power. Not through words, not through forced charm, but through quiet, unconscious signals that speak louder than anything you could ever say, signals that reach deep into the feminine mind. These aren't tricks. They're the reflection of something deeper, the presence of a grounded man. A man who doesn't seek attention because his very presence commands it. These gestures aren't about pretending to be alpha or manipulating her interest. They come from aligning with your natural masculine core, the part of you that makes her stop, wonder, and feel drawn to you without knowing why. This is the Stoic spirit, and in this video, we'll uncover 12 subtle body cues that activate something primal in women. Not through effort, but through polarity. Because real attraction isn't loud. It's calm. It's rooted. It lives in the space between your movements. So why do these work? Because the feminine is drawn to strength, not the kind that forces, but the kind that simply is. In every powerful connection between a man and a woman, there's polarity, a tension between leadership and surrender, stillness and softness. When you walk into a room without asking for permission to exist, when your eyes say more than your mouth ever could, that's when the attraction begins in silence. Have you ever felt a woman respond to you without you saying a word? Share your story in the comments. We read everyone. Number 1, running your hand through your hair or across your head. It's a small, natural gesture, so simple you barely notice it. But she does, whether your hair is thick, shaved close, or gone entirely. That subtle motion of touching your own head does something primal. It shows you're present, not in your thoughts, not in your phone, but grounded in your own body. When a man runs his hand through his hair without hesitation, it sends a signal. I'm comfortable with myself, and that comfort is contagious. To the feminine, this isn't about grooming. It's not performance. It's awareness, confidence, a silent declaration that says, I don't need to prove anything. There's no shame, no overthinking, no self-correction. Just a man in his own skin, moving without apology. And the effect, she notices the energy shift. She feels something calm, but magnetic. Not flashy, not forced. Just clean masculine presence expressed through the smallest movement. It's not the gesture itself that draws her in. It's the energy behind it. And that's what most men miss. Because when you touch your own body with composure and stillness, you radiate something rare in today's world. A man who's not performing, just being. Number 2, stroking your beard or tracing your jawline in quiet thought. It's not just a habit, it's a signal. A man in contemplation, absent of words, carrying weight behind his silence. That small movement across your face tells her something without needing to explain. It speaks of strength held inward, of focus without noise, of quiet control. Even if you don't have a full beard, the gesture alone holds meaning. It's masculine, it's still, it's rooted, and when done with intention, not fidgeting, not anxious, it communicates presence, not trying to impress, just being. Women don't consciously think, he's stroking his beard, that's attractive, but they feel it, because it reflects something ancient, a man who leads himself first. If you have a beard, even better. A well-kept beard suggests discipline. It says you care without trying too hard. It hints at experience, stability, and a touch of rugged edge. In her mind, that kind of man doesn't flinch. He doesn't fold. He thinks. He acts with certainty. So when your hand moves slowly across your jaw, you're not just adjusting your beard, you're anchoring your presence. And she feels it. Number 3, tilting your head slightly and raising an eyebrow. Sometimes, the most powerful message is delivered without a single word. You hear something ridiculous. Instead of reacting, you pose. You tilt your head. You raise one eyebrow. Maybe you smirk just slightly. That's it. And in that quiet, subtle gesture, you've said everything you need to. You're not rattled. You're not defensive. You're simply amused. It's not aggression. It's not approval. It's presence. This move holds weight because it reflects something rare. Emotional control. You're showing that you see through the nonsense, but you're above it. You're not trying to prove your intelligence. You're demonstrating your composure. This isn't about making her laugh. It's about drawing the line without confrontation. Women notice this. They feel the tension because you're not giving them the reaction they expected. Instead of chasing the moment, you're shaping it. The raised eyebrow is your boundary. The head tilt is your calm resistance. And when paired with stillness, it speaks louder than any clever line ever could. Use it when it counts. It's subtle, effortless, and unforgettable. Number 4, hands behind your head. Leaning back. It's one of the most underrated power moves a man can make. Simple, still, unapologetic. You lean back, hands behind your head, torso open, posture relaxed but unmistakably in control. You're not trying to prove dominance. You're just at ease in your own frame. And that alone speaks volumes. Now add the look, the quiet, knowing grin, the kind of expression that says, I see more than you think, and I don't need to say a word about it. She'll feel it. The tension, the awareness, the curiosity. She might even ask, what? But you won't break posture. You won't fill the silence. Because silence, when owned, is magnetic. This isn't about arrogance. It's about presence. You're not reacting. You're anchored. And when a man is anchored in himself, he holds more than a position. He holds the room. Women sense when a man isn't swayed by emotion or approval. They feel drawn to the quiet confidence of a man who doesn't chase moments. He shapes them. This posture isn't for performance. It's a declaration, I'm unshaken. Hold it, mean it, and let her lean in. Number 5, the deep look with a naughty secret. No movement, no words, just the kind of presence that speaks for itself. You look at her, not casually, but with intention, like you've already read the whole story, and you're just deciding whether to turn the next page. Your eyes stay still, focused, unshaken. You don't blink. You don't flinch. There's no tension in your face, only awareness. A subtle curl at the corner of your lips. Not a smile, but the quiet signal of a man who knows exactly what he sees and says nothing about it. This kind of gaze doesn't chase. It holds. And when she breaks the stare, when she looks away, it's not rejection. It's reaction. Because she felt something, not in her ears, but somewhere deeper, somewhere that doesn't respond to words, only presence. Most men never master this. They look, but they seek. They search. They hope. But you anchor. You let your gaze carry weight. And that weight says, I don't need to perform. I see you, and I remain still. Number 6, The up-down look, but with controlled confidence. It's not about staring. It's not about lust. It's about ownership of presence. When you look at a woman from head to toe, do it like a man who's seen beauty before and isn't shaken by it. Let your eyes travel slowly, not with hunger, but with quiet appreciation. You're not trying to impress her. You're simply observing, like a sculptor studying the lines of a masterpiece, calm, intentional, still. And when your gaze returns to her eyes, don't flinch. Let it settle. Let it speak without saying a word. I see you, and I approve. Then, give the slightest nod. Not arrogant, not overplayed, just enough to say, "You've got it." This moment isn't for her validation. It's a silent expression of choice. Because here's the secret. Women aren't drawn to men who need their attention. They're drawn to men who choose where they place it. Men who don't chase, but observe. And in that observation, they ignite something ancient in her, the feeling of being seen, noticed, chosen. Number 7, lift something heavy, even if it's her. Sometimes the fastest way to make her feel something is to lift something. It doesn't have to be dramatic. A box, a chair, a bag she was about to carry, or if the moment is right, her. Why does this work? Because women are biologically wired to respond to strength. Not the aggressive kind, but the grounded, physical kind that says, I can handle pressure. I can handle life. I can handle you. When she watches you, exert effort, especially when your arms tense or your back straightens with control, her brain picks it up on a level she doesn't fully understand. She won't say it, but she feels it. You just flipped a primal switch from he's nice to he's magnetic. It's not about showing off. It's about presence. You're demonstrating that you're capable, strong, and self-reliant. You don't need her help, but you're willing to help her. And if the moment's right and the energy's mutual, picking her up, not in a goofy way, but with ease and certainty, can send her mind and body into emotional surrender. But a word of warning, if she's not into you, don't try this. Strength without connection becomes threat. Power without presence becomes pressure. Use strength with intention, not to prove you can carry her, but to remind her, you're the kind of man who could. Number 8, wrap your arms around her from behind. Sometimes, the most powerful gestures don't need words. They just need timing and presence. One of the most intimate, masculine things you can do is to walk up behind her, wrap your arms around her waist, and pull her close slowly, confidently, without saying a word. In that moment, your body is saying everything she craves to hear. You're mine. You're safe. I've got you. This isn't about control. It's about containment, about offering your strength as a shelter. And to the feminine brain, that message is irresistible. It activates her desire, her trust, and her need to melt into your frame. She feels protected, but wanted, held, but still breathless. Do it while she's cooking, while you're passing her in the hallway, or while she's just standing there lost in thought. You don't need a reason. You just need presence. This is masculine polarity at its core, silent, steady, and grounding. You're not asking for affection. You're radiating it. And when she feels that kind of stable warmth behind her, her defense lower, her feminine energy awakens, and without even trying, she leans into you. Sometimes, the way to her heart isn't through words, it's through stillness, strength, and a quiet reminder that she belongs right where she is. Number 9. Take her hand and lead her somewhere. This might seem simple, but when done right, it's magnetic. Taking her hand isn't just physical contact, it's a silent message, a signal of direction, of control without force, of masculine presence. But here's the key: don't reach out like you're unsure. Don't touch her like she's fragile glass. Instead, reach with confidence. Hold her hand like you've already decided where you're going. Then guide her there without hesitation. That's what flips the switch. From he's sweet to he's strong. Because feminine energy naturally responds to direction, to a man who knows where he's headed and invites her along. No pressure, no performance, just certainty. And don't underestimate the power of a subtle squeeze. Not too tight, just enough to let her know you're not just holding her hand. You're holding the moment. You're aware of her. Present with her. That's the kind of silent leadership that awakens something deep in her. Not just safety, but desire. Not just closeness, but trust. It's not about being alpha. It's about being sure, being still, and leading with calm strength. Number 10. Hold her face in your hands before a kiss. This isn't just a kiss. It's a moment carved out of time. When you place your hands gently on her face, you're not just touching her skin. You're telling her, I see you. Not just with your eyes, but with your presence. Do it slowly. No rush. No hunger. Just calm intention. Let your palms rest on her cheeks. Let your thumbs lightly brush along her jaw. And then, pause. Look at her. Not a glance. A steady, grounding gaze. She'll fidget. She may smile nervously. She might even look away. But don't chase her gaze. Stay right there. Present. Unshaken. Because that's what creates the spark. Not your words. Not your charm. But your stillness. In that pause before the kiss, you become the mirror. And in you, she sees herself beautiful, feminine, desired. Then when you do kiss her, it's no longer about lips meeting. It's energy merging, emotion blooming. It's a bond quiet, deep, and unforgettable. This is how you leave a mark on her heart, not through performance, but through presence. Number 11. The wall pin. Let's talk primal energy. But before anything, only do this. If the attraction is mutual, no mixed signals, no guessing. Now picture this, you're standing close. She's already feeling the chemistry. You take a confident step forward and gently guide her back until she meets the wall. One hand placed beside her head, maybe both. You're not trapping her. You're holding space. You're creating a moment. Your presence is calm but powerful. Your eyes locked on hers. You don't speak. You don't rush. You just let the tension rise naturally. This isn't about aggression or intimidation. It's about grounded masculinity, about showing her that you can be both strong and in control without ever being threatening. Her breath quickens. Her body leans in, not out of fear, but out of surrender, because this done right isn't scary. It's electric. It awakens something deep, something instinctual, a sense of, he's got me, both physically and emotionally. But here's the line, you don't spring this out of nowhere. You do it with intention, with full awareness of her response. You respect the moment, because power means nothing without control. And true attraction isn't about force, it's about presence. Number 12. Toss her on the bed. There's a primal language that doesn't need words, and this move speaks it fluently. When the energy is right, when the look in her eyes says yes, don't hesitate. Don't overanalyze. Lead. Pick her up confidently. Toss her gently onto the bed, not to shock, but to center the moment. Climb on top with full presence and kiss her like she's the only woman in the world. This isn't about aggression. It's about intention. When she feels your strength wrapped in calm control, not force, but focus, her mind and body respond in ways no words ever could. Why does it work? Because it flips the switch. She goes from wondering if she's desired to knowing it deeply, from guarded to surrendered. Women crave to feel wanted without being handled like glass. They don't want hesitation. They want bold presence wrapped in care. And when she feels your strength used not to overpower, but to hold, not to dominate, but to claim with safety, she lets go. Fully. This moment isn't about performance. It's about energy. If the chemistry is mutual and the timing is true, she won't just respond to you, she'll remember you. What are your thoughts on masculine leadership in intimacy? Comment below and let's open the conversation. Bonus. Let's talk about one of the biggest turn-offs that most men don't even realize: slouching. It's not just bad posture, it's a silent broadcast of everything you don't want to communicate. When you're hunched over your phone, slumped at your desk, or dragging your feet around, here's what it signals: low confidence, low energy, low value. Your body is telling the world, this man has no direction, no purpose, no strength. And women, they feel that instantly, because the way you carry yourself is the first story you ever tell. The solution is simple but powerful. Stand up straight, shoulders back, spine tall. Walk like you have somewhere important to be, because you do. Now, here's the bonus move. Almost no woman will admit turns her on. But every woman feels it. You're behind the wheel. You shift into reverse. One hand on the wheel. The other reaches behind her seat. You look over your shoulder. Jawline sharp. Calm. In control. It's like masculine geometry in motion. Total ease. Spatial dominance. Pure presence. Add a subtle graze on the side of her neck as you guide the car back, and you won't need to say a single word. She'll remember that moment longer than she'll admit. So tell me, how many of these silent moves are already part of your natural presence? And more importantly, which one are you going to master this week? Attraction isn't about effort, it's about energy. When you walk with purpose, hold your frame, and move with grounded intention, you become unforgettable without even trying. Women don't chase words. They respond to the man who doesn't need to speak to be noticed. So stop chasing, start embodying, and watch how she leans in, how her walls fall, how her heart follows. You don't need to prove your worth. You only need to live it. If this message hit something real, leave a comment below, give it a thumbs up, and join us here at the Stoic Spirit. Subscribe for more. Your journey starts with stillness.